Folks, are we back? Whoa, I think we're back, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hopefully the microphone, we're set up here. You guys can hear me. Today, my name is Rudy. You're watching Alpha Investments. Finally got over to this location to have an update video for a financial discussion regarding long-term curves. This is an interesting conversation. This video is going to be the first whiteboard video we're going to have focused more around Pokemon, with partial exposure to Magic and the other card games in the world. But the Pokemon situation is so important in the behavior news cycle right now. I feel like we need to have a discussion on what we can expect over the next 3 to 5 years compared to previous market cycles with Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, XY, based on my experience in the last 10, 15 years of doing this. And obviously, if anyone has credibility or should be discussing something like this, it should probably be the guy that has almost 15,000 sealed boxes of Scarlet Violet in the era. And by the time we finish Scarlet Violet era, I'm probably going to be around 25,000 sealed boxes. So that beats out by double my exposure to Sword and Shield. So if there was ever going to be someone that should be talking about something like this for long term, I feel like I'm probably the one who has the most to lose or gain on the situation. Oh, wait a minute. Can you guys hear me? I have just equipped the 1984 pink visor from my mom. It is the original 1984 from the Ladies Workout Express company that went bankrupt in Florida. She used to wear this doing 1980s flash dance and aerobics, guaranteed to bring out the serious nature. Video starts now. So folks, this video is going to be about the yield curves. In the world of Pokemon, it's going to be about the velocity, the rate of change of curves in this video. Because we're in a market where now everybody is wanting to invest and collect sealed boxes, Pokemon, we're in a very different situation, okay? Make sure camera, I haven't done this in a long time, folks, so cut me some slack, everybody. So make sure we're all good up here. You guys are good. Everything looks good. So make sure everybody understands that we have to take into account, it's like the Matrix, okay? Why did the Matrix keep failing? In the second Matrix 2, the original one, the architect, Oracle, all this stuff talks about why the Matrix keeps failing and why they keep trying it over and over, but it always fails. And the reason for it is, of course, in the movie, they say it's due to human choice. So we have to make assumptions based on the public's perception and human choice. I knew in 2022 and 2023, going hardcore in Magic, in the beginning, sets 1 through 4 of Scarlet Violet, it was easy street. Everything was easy. Every Pokemon set came out, Scarlet Violet base came out, and store cost is essentially between about 90 to 100 range, right? Is this pre-price increase or after price increase? Let's just say 90 to 100. So, you know, Scarlet Violet, when it came out, it was like this. You know? In other words, Scarlet Violet era came out. Nobody wanted it. I could sell cases to patrons for $99 all day long. I could sell more. If you were a patron, you want to buy 4 cases, I could sell it to you for like $95, $99 shipped for cases. Double box shipped to your door, everybody. Why? Because stores were paying almost $100 a box. It would come out, and it would immediately tank below 100. And no matter what I would sell it for, I'm not willing to sell it for 89 or anything. I'm not willing to lose 20% of my money and just sell it at a loss to become the top cheapest guy on the internet. That means nothing to me because I know what that means long term. Nobody cares. The type of customers that are going to be attracted to wanting the absolute most insane thing every single time are customers I don't want. Because once they see someone else with $1 difference, they're going to leave anyways. So fuck them, right? So in this situation, this was the normal market. Okay, so the normal market cycle that we had going into this era was we had a flat to negative thing, and then eventually we'd have this, right? So the type of movement that I mentally knew going into the Pokemon world was the beginning, you would be ridiculed, laughed at, because it's all trash and it's down here, below cost, everybody's stuck with it, everything. Eventually, well, this isn't probably the best graph. Usually, you pop up to about this area, about right in the middle of that. And a lot of times you get stuck there for a while, which is usually the 110 to 125 range is the next, usually what I like to call, it's your warning sign. That's your red flag. When any set in Pokemon pops above the 100, and then it hits that sweet spot, the 110 to 120s. Anything between 110 to 129.99. That 110 to 120s. That is your yellow caution warning sign that the market is shifting. That is the moment you should be the most aggressive, the most excited, and that is the moment you should be literally ready. Tripod, balls out, let's go. That is the moment that you understand that the market is telling you, buckle up, Buttercup, it's game time. Because once you crack that, that tells you many things. Distribution usually sells out. People notice there's not excess supply anymore. Because if there was, people would just undercut it and it would go right back down, right? You'd have a little, oh, are we going up? No, it's a fake dead cat bounce. Once you crack that, everything changes in Pokemon. Okay? Now then you have the next level, the 150s. That's the next glass ceiling resistant level. Usually now you have the Pokemon Center. You have certain things that are competing with you to hold the price, to hold the line. Okay? So then usually it will take another, could be a 3-month, this could be a 6-month, could be a year-long window, could be 2 years. This time frame here can vary from literally 3 months all the way to, honestly, I'd say 2 years. So this variance right here is a 3 month to 2 years. That's 3 months to 24 months. You take the average in the middle there, divide by 2, take an average right in the middle. 3 months to 24 months, what's the middle? About a year, maybe 12 to 15 range, right? So your average is going to be around that 12 to 15 month mean, median kind of point in stats. In statistics and everything, that would be the average time you could expect to fondle ourselves, rookie numbers, sit there and kind of, that's the time we're going to kind of hover. That's hover time, folks. So as you can see right now, previous cycles of curves, you have a normal kind of, now let's take our red marker here. Let's take here. So now you can kind of deduct a few things. This is pre-bull market. This is what I was going through in 2023. This is what we had. Curve down, little curve, curve up, curve up. What do you notice? What do you notice? Yes, you, Penelope in the back. Good answer, Penelope. Penelope notices that you always have downward curves followed by a baby curve, the itty bitty committee. And then you have a nice big juicy curve followed by another big juicy curve. So you'll notice in the previous cycle of curves, Rudy mentally expected this is the flush out area of the dumbasses. Short-term flippers, the Timmy'S, everybody who wants to scream on the internet, make fun of you, bash stores. I'm not going to carry poke. This is the dumb fuck period. Okay? This is the period of time that the people who are undercapitalized, don't have the discipline, and don't have long-term experience. This is the time of the complaining. This is the time right here when the greatest amount of wealth is created, distributed, and wiggled around. This is the time I purchased 8,000 Scarlet Violet boxes from between SVO 1, 2, 3, 4 across the board. Ironically, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, the most amount of Scarlet Violet boxes I have is actually SVO 2. I know, kind of weird how that ends up happening. So this is the period they like to call, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Like the Timmy Terminator, Timmy 10,000? I don't know what you want to call it. The T10, T10,000? I don't know. So this is the side. So you'll notice we usually have a pattern here. We got one nice big juicy curve, a baby curve, a big juicy curve, and a big juicy curve. Now this type of curve structure takes us from the hundreds to the bear market. We have the initial pop showing that we got the red flag alert. Then we're in the 120, 150s being pegged down by Pokemon Center. And then once that flushes, we have the big leg up, the Pound Town, LOL, and of course the humble experience of humble pie. that I like to eat with your ex-wife. That's how it works, right? Notice the size of the curves. Notice, let me get some water. Notice the size of the curves in this situation. Okay, we're still good. The problem is, this mindset I used for the last 2 years is done. This is all useless information. Everything I just discussed with you all in the last 10 minutes, all useless. Why? Because now everybody knows. People who don't give a shit about Pokemon, people who never order Pokemon the last 2 years, want as much as possible. Because of that, the size of the large, voluptuous curves are now gone. Now, that's not always a bad thing. Everybody likes curves. I get it. But we have to accept reality. Emotion, leave it at the door. If you're going to cry, I got a safety corner right in the corner of my bedroom just for you. I got a picture in my face, so as you do it, you can make eye contact with me. We have to accept that the entire Rudy business model and my mindset of this approach is dead. It will return in the next market cycle, which could be 1 year, 2 years, could be 5 years. Historically, Pokemon market cycles are 2 to 4 years. We've only had one major year right now. So historically, 2025 is the closest you're going to get to a shoo-in as possible when it comes to probabilities. As with all yield curves and all kind of standard deviations, you never get to 100%, but you're going to get close to the 99. And that's the best you're going to get for 2025, which is a very bullish indicator. 2026, just like any form of Wall Street probability thing, the probabilities decline. By 2027, 2028, the probabilities drop a lot that we're in this kind of market cycle. So that's where we're at. So what does this mean now? I don't want to erase everything. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit for you guys, okay? I want to clean it up, okay? I'm just going to I don't want to get rid of all my mess. And I want to show you guys what now I am mentally preparing for going into this next thing. I want to kind of just clean this up some for you guys. Good enough. Okay. Now, this is the new thing. These giant curves are gone. You will not enjoy them. You will not see them. They will not happen. Because now, because everybody knows, we have to reapproach everything. The amount of people who are going to buy new Pokemon and sit on it, everything's different. Everybody knows if you get your hands on new Pokemon boxes, you're probably going to make money by waiting. Because stores have to dump 90% of all product to recoup their capital, pay their bills, their monthly expenses, their overhead, their labor, blah, 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 just to keep the machine and the wheel in the sky turning for the next release cycle 1 week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks later. Right? So most stores cannot invest. They have to churn product. That is a basic understanding of this industry and one of the basic fundamentals of why long-term sealed product always works with Pokemon. Because no, you cannot have, we talked about this in their video, you cannot have a bunch of Rudies sitting on tens of thousands of boxes. It'll destroy it and it would become a dangerous thing of investor A selling to investor B. And that's dangerous. Because that's not possible, and because over 90% of Pokemon boxes are sold to the public and churned so that stores can churn and burn their inventory, which remains true no matter what you think, we have to now think, what happens if everybody is sitting on cases? This is the new curve. I believe now Pokemon boxes come out at around the 150s. Surging Sparks, Anomaly, 200. I told you all Surging Sparks, anything under 200 is a buy. Honestly, looking back, I should have just canceled the patron sale instead of dealing with the complaints and you guys, the patrons who canceled their accounts because I sold it for 138, 139. I should have just canceled the sale and kept all the Pokemon Surging Spark boxes. Looking back, instead of pissing people off, losing patrons, hey, you want to support me? Hey, I just tell you how it is. Can't make you a millionaire, but we can have fun together. I should have just fucking canceled it all and kept them. But a lot of the patrons did buy it, and they are happy, and they did believe in what I was saying, and it worked out really well for them, and I'm happy for that. But it was turbulent, and people just get so damn emotional. So now, I expect moving forward, we're not going to really have any Pokemon releases below 100. That's over with. But because of that, the growth rate is not going to be the same anymore. we're probably going to have more like, it's going to be more like this. It's going to be more like this, folks. Now, along that way, at any time, you can have forks in the road. No, not a fork from Bitcoin to Litecoin. No, not a fork from Bitcoin to Bitcoin SV Satoshi Vision. No, don't give me bamboozle. You know, I'm going to start a Rudy scam coin. Hot 2 on my left nut, right? Is that what we're going to do? No, all that shit's stupid. Don't buy dumb shit. So in this situation, anytime we can have the, we can have that. We call that the Valley of Lost Hopes and Dreams. Now you may ask, Rudy, what is the Valley of Lost Hopes and Dreams? I'm glad you asked, Princess. What that is Pokemon doing a reprint or releasing the final inventory they sat on in the Texas warehouse from the Carolinas, and they put on the market. There's a short-term opportunity. So what you're going to notice is the curves in 2025 moving forward. Look at the big, juicy, healthy curves. You see them? From the past, when Rudy was doing his big moves and everybody made fun of me with my heavy bags. Notice, this is the new normal. Where are the curves? We are only in the itty-bitty committees. Itty-bitty curves. You guys stop moving around. Don't give me comments below with itty-bitty committee. No. This is a fucking serious video. You guys need to stop screwing around acting like I'm a joke on this channel. You don't wear 80s visors. Dude, am I smiling? Am I smiling? Yeah, I see you in the back laughing and drinking your beer and sitting on the potty and you're just pooping and watching my videos. I see you out there. So you'll notice there are no steep curves anymore. You'll notice the quick tendies are gone. There are still tendies, but it's going to be slower and more stagnant because every single tiny little curve, a little pop, you'll notice it's small because stores, closet investors, and evil people like Rudy are going to sell into every uptick. If I sell the next Pokemon set at $149 a box, make up a number, right? $10 below MSRP. You know, if I sell at that price, right? So let's say you buy the new Pokemon set for me for $140. So you're buying right here. And you're, well, you know, Rudy scammed me. There's no opportunity. You know, oh shit, it actually did go up. Oh my God. The people who buy here and wait the 3 or 6 months and they go from the 140 to maybe, let's call this 180. Maybe they just sell a TCG player, pay shipping and fees, they net 160. So essentially, from here, they buy from Rudy at 140, they sell 180, they net 160 after shipping and fees, they pay full retail for everything at all prices, no discounts, no selling for cash, no doing local stuff, no trade shows, no basements, no strip Pokemon, nothing. They still make from 140 to 160. They make $20 on a single box of cards in 6 months. They make a 10% return in 6 months, which is still far beyond a normal rate of return that you should be accepting. You should not expect that amount of growth. That is still above and beyond normal returns and growth rates. Anyone promising high rates of double-digit returns is trying to bamboozle, sell you a CD, or pump and dump your face on your ex. The correct rate of return is 6 to 9% a year. It always has been. Oh, Rudy doesn't keep up with inflation. Your stepsister can't keep up with me. It doesn't matter. The correct rate of return is 6 to 9% a year. Yes, Pokemon is beating that. Yes, it's probably going to continue to beat it. But understand, it is not sustainable. Okay? So understand, the black line is the new normal. What happens is, all these people who are buying on TCG Player for $150, like let's say the TCG Player, every sale you get those dumbass stores who unload all their boxes, they want to be cool, get their feedback, whatever the fuck, who cares? So let's say they all buy at $150. That's still not a bad price. Because if they wait, it's going to pop to $180. It's going to pop to $200. And even if you pay retail $150, full price, you don't have to be a Rudy patron. F that Rudy guy in his basement. He can drown in taco Soros. You know what? You could pay $150. Just wait. But the thing is, right when we have the first leg up, understand, Understand. Understand. Understand something. This is Timmy in a floating basement with a hat with an excited penis. Now that guy has nothing to do with this video, but understand something very important. This guy in the basement with the penis hat is filled with boxes that he bought for $150. Understand, as the market moves up in price, every single time we have one of these moments here, every one of these moments where we go up the staircase, Timmy Taco Basement Hat Penis is going to release through the hat back into the market some of the boxes. So every time there's an uptick, Timmy Taco Hat Penis is going to release supply. So every time we have, you'll notice on TCG Player, human behavior is very predictable. But the problem is, dumb humans and choice is not predictable. But the overall herd can be predictable as much as I smell like cardboard. And you know Rudy has to eat a taco or Chick-fil-A once a week. It's just, now we don't know which day. We don't know what kind of weather. We don't know what his mood's going to be. We don't know what kind of video he's going to make. But we know he's going to do something. Right? Right! Okay. So, we know every one of these upticks, when we go up like that, along the on that uptick moment, there's always a tiny little moment where we have buy the dip. So, similar to what we talked about when they release supply, whenever there's a reprint or restock in Pokemon, and the price drops, usually 10 to 20% for 90 days, you always buy everything. It is a get out of jail free card. It is the closest thing to just pack fresh tendies as me holding both of my nips right now. Okay? Every time that happens, we just had it with Paldea and Charizard SV03 Obsidian. That was a blaring buy opportunity. I think everybody already bought the dip and they're both all the way back up, but you understand. Same thing. Every single leg up in price, basement, Timmy, hat, penis, box will go to the market because they're going to feel empowered to lock in some gains. This will then come over here, swing around your ex's back door, come back to the side, and we have the tiny dip. We see with Surging Sparks. It hit 200. No, it's back to 190. Oh shit, it's 220. Okay? Why? Because every single one of these people with the penis hats, they lock in gains because they need the capital to prepare and roll the machine. Hold on. To roll the wheel in the sky. You guys better keep watching. To roll the two wheels in the sky that turn this way and turn that way. Wait. No, turn the other way. Wait, fuck. The wheel in the sky has to keep turning. Is that COVID? Kind of looks like the COVID virus. That's the Rudy virus. I'm inside of you. I am literally in the bathroom in your bedroom with you. You are laying there with your significant other with me. That's how close we are. Menage. So, understand that. Because 90% of the people buying don't have a choice. The people with the crazy hats that shoot the liquid, they don't want to sell many times. But just like the other Storytime videos, sometimes the wife is like, you need to sell. What are you doing? We're not doing well. Other times, we have bills. Other times, wow, they just came out with that new inflatable thing and it's really expensive and I like to play with it. You have bills. So you're always going to have the drip of supply that appears on the market like magic. And again, you'll notice, conclusion of this video. How far are we? Let me get some water. Okay, conclusion of this video. You notice the 2025 curve is going to be different. We are not going to see Surging Spark just skyrocket to $1,000. Most likely, I'll be honest with you guys, most likely the smart money is going after SVO1 base, SVO2 Paldea, SVO3 Char Lizard on a Grill, SVO4 Paradox. All these that were terrible, that people didn't hoard in the basement with the hats and the squirting, they're the ones right now with the opportunity. They're the ones that have aged, and they're the ones that may still be on the old curve from the previous young lady. The new curve is the new stuff. The other one still may be on the older curve because no one believed in it, and now it's a panic to catch up, panic of disco, right? So you got to remember this stuff. When you're navigating, when you're listening, when you're paying attention, you know, the rip and ship era of all these YouTubers and people, it's a whole new ecosystem of what people or everyone's trying to predict the next thing. Me, I just don't give a shit. I just like to make videos, have fun with you guys, because I know eventually the golden rule exists. And just so you know, everybody, I'm glad you asked, Princess. The golden rule. Do you know what the golden rule is? This is the golden rule. I take this marker that's been here for 5 years. I come over here, and the golden rule, we start here, we end here. Now here comes the shit that's going to blow your mind. I'm going to put a line between both of these ball sacks I just drew. Ready? Ready? This is the golden rule. Ball number 1. Ball number 2. What do you notice? The line starts in the lower left. It ends on the top right, and it's done that since Pokemon started in the late 90s. And because the golden rule has never been broken, that line with those 2 balls have held strong through every single 2008, 2020, every bear market, 2017, 2018. Hell, it held back in the day with Sun and Moon, XY, black and white, furious fists on your face. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It has one of the fewest things in history that has 100% success rate. There is nothing in corporate finance, Wall Street, real estate, bonds, nothing I have ever done in the history of my life has gone on for 25 years. And every single booster box released has held that pattern. It's never happened in anything in my life except this. Now, is the next 25 years going to be the same? I have no idea. But I can tell you one thing. The probability that almost everything, if not everything, maintains future performance based on past performance, the odds are very favorable. There is no G-word guarantee in this world. But when I see stuff like that, and I say, well, how many sets of Pokemon exist? Oh, wow, what, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 sets? And I go back, and I sit back in time, and I go, how many of those sets today, just right now, how many of them are cheaper than what they were at release? How many are cheaper than the original $80, $90, $70 old price? Give me one example of a Pokemon booster box that is lower than when it was when it started. I can't say that with Magic. I can't say it with anything else. This is one of the few things in life that somehow, in some flat earth reptilian space where Pluto is still a planet, I don't know how many galaxies, how many multiverses, somehow the 2 balls, the line going that direction, it still holds true. And that to me is one of the most mind-bending, surreal, dumb, stupid, idiotic things I've ever encountered in my financial life. Like, I don't want to believe that because it goes against everything that my financial, autistic, Asperger brain of Rudy believes in. It's just who I am. Who it is, I'm born with it, is what it is. I've always been wired that way. It's just who I am. And this bothers me. It's a kink. It's a quirk. It's a distortion in the multiverse. And yet for some reason, that holds true. Not with a high probability. Not with a certain amount of standard deviations and a certain amount of 99%, 96%. No, it holds true 100%. of the time, which is not supposed to be real. So now, what actually changes, Rudy? The change that we have is the curves. And people's reaction and how you feel as you watch this video is going to be dependent on how you ride the curves. So that's where it gets weird. You know why that gets even more weird? It gets more weird because what I'm trying to tell you all is overall, the line and everything's going to be the same as it was in the past. But because the curves are going to be like this versus like this, moving forward, people aren't going to feel the same. It's going to change how we feel. People right now are still mentally recalibrating because they don't like the feel of paying for $150 for a new box of Pokemon. They don't like the idea right now of paying $210 for a box of Surging Sparks. It doesn't feel good. Even though, let me tell you, you want to do the curves? Fuck, let's do the curves of Surging Sparks. I'm glad you asked, Princess. Okay, you ready? So Surging Spark, we're going to use the red marker because red is the color of Rudy's dungeon basement where we have hanging things and swinging. I'm just going to do red, whatever. Everybody be quiet. Quiet! So, Surging Sparks. Where do I start? You know what? Let's pretend you're a patron because some reason you actually like me. Okay, so you're a Rudy patron. You paid the $140. Let's just pretend. So now, really quickly, what happens to Surging Sparks? You are here. You are right there. You're on the left part of the X. I'm on the right part of the X. Your stepsister's in the middle trying to do laundry for us. So, this is where we're at. Rudy, you need to be careful. You can get canceled. Can I get canceled? I thought I've already been canceled. Welcome to Canceled Investments. The only people who watch this channel are stepsisters doing laundry. All right. So, right now, this doesn't feel good because this is what's going to happen next. You ready? Over the next 6 months, it's going to go like this. Surging Sparks, baby. Oh. 250. Uh-oh. Did you hear the news? The bird's the word. That is what's going to happen. So right now, there you go. Based on my experience in this world and based on kind of how I feel, what I think is going to happen next is we're going to go from release of 150 range. And of course, the Rudy scammed you at 138. You rode it to 200. That's great. We're probably going to ride to the 250s to 300. There's going to be variance of plus or minus 10, 15%. Who the fuck knows? Eventually, we will get the wave 2. Probably going to have to be a full-blown reprint. I don't know if they're going to release more restock. Might have to be a full-blown reprint. We are going to have a short-term dip from the 250 to 3, probably down to the 152. So it's going to shave a third of the value off, and it's going to create all kinds of turmoil. And at that moment in time, the hat is going to stop squirting, and you bet your fourth testicle on that dip, I am going to do everything in my power to buy the living shit out of as many of that stuff as I can get. Because this dip is irrelevant. This is the line that goes down to my pants that tells me, Rudy, yes, baby, it's time. And that's the moment I know it's time to move in and we repopulate. We are going to reproduce more boxes. And then but here's the thing. It's not going to go, notice, the retracement did not go to the high. Notice the retracement is going to take this long time period to go back to the 250, 300. Because once you have that little, the hat and the happiness in the market, it doesn't just immediately recalibrate. Look at Silver Tempest. When I bought my last 1,500 boxes of Silver Tempest, I had to pay a premium, of course, because that's just how shitty the world is and distribution gets greedy. And you know what? Hey, fuck it. It is what it is. Business. I couldn't buy it the normal 90 to 100, right? So if you pay 110, 120, and the box is only 130, most people don't want to do it. But I knew eventually Silver Tempest would go back to 140, 150. And I knew this would give me an opportunity to have 2,000 boxes of Silver Tempest. Now, of course, in the filming of this video, I think Silver Tempest just popped to like 180, 190, which again is still undervalued. Sword and Shield era, I stand by it. Anything under 500 a box, green light, baby. And of course, Evolving Skies, it's going to be 2,000, 3,000. Anything 1,000 or less, green light, baby. So you'll notice, once again, the curves of the new stuff are not as intense. Yes, it's going to keep going all the way off this screen, all the way down the road, all the way to your house when you're at work. But remember, we are not going to experience dramatic swings that make you excited. Expect, like Silver Tempest or Brilliant Stars, expect movement that's slow, that's grindy, that's kind of like, oh, come on, can we just get there? We expect a movement of pain and frustration. Like, it's like owning a house, or maybe should I pick on Bitcoin or owning a house or buying the S&P 500? Like it was like in 2022, S&P 500 was down negative 15% for the year, negative 20% for the year, whatever it was. And it was just like, oh God, Rudy, I just put 10 grand in. The next day it dropped already again. The market's still bad, and my 10 grand's down to 9 grand. Now I'm going to add more. Oh, my second payment. Now I'm down to 8. You're just getting pounded. And you have to believe. And you have to let nature and time take its course. Silver Tempest was the same way. It reprinted, it stayed flat forever. Everybody thought Brilliant Stars was going to go to the moon, it stayed flat forever. I am the poster child of the world famous Chilling Reign. 3,000 boxes of Chilling Reign. I sold a lot as we went up. I've only got 2,000 left. And everybody made fun of me, and you got to go back to hit Chilling Reign Alpha Investments, and you can see the old comments. Sort by top and oldest. And you'll see the comments. This guy has no idea what he's doing. You know, a fool and his money will be easily parted. You'll see the very shallow, very internet policey, very game piece. You'll see the people on the internet who don't have skin in the game, who don't have the experience, and you'll see them kind of wail out. They kind of do that thing like this. And I knew the day would come. I didn't think it would be this quick, but I knew the day would come where nature will humble and take care of itself. And I didn't think it would be this quick. I didn't think, Chilling Reign would go from 80 a box to 250, 260, 270. I mean, when it goes to 3, 4, 500, I mean, that's just mind blowing. But this is how it works. I knew that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, last year when I did Scarlet Violet 1, I knew SVO3, Paradox. I knew that this would be coming. Even during all this, I knew the curves were coming. Just as much as I want you all to understand, ran in the video, all jokes aside, understand we are in a new era of itty bitty curves. We are in a new era where we're not going to have the swings as intense. Things are going to start out higher, and they're going to move up higher at a slower rate of change. So we're starting at a different point, and the velocity, the curve is going to be less exciting. And that'll lead people to the eventual shifting of the market where they give up on Pokemon. It's not growing because there's a lot of people that they're not going to watch a video like this, but there's a lot of people out there that only want Pokemon because they see what's happening short term. And once we get 1 or 2 Pokemon sets that don't do this, and they go back to doing this, that will snap the trend. And once the trend is no longer your friend, and the trend goes around the bend, the trend comes to an end. Cheers, everybody. Have a beautiful day.